Hey guys, so this has been a long time coming in the sense that I have been waiting for a stove like this to be launched, and this is something, as you can see, from Boundless Voyage, and they previously had another stove very similar to this, and it emulated the Bushcraft Essentials, I think, the Bushbox XL, in that it folds in like accordion style and there's a base on it. I didn't get that big, and I'll go into the details of that a bit later, but focusing on this is something that I've wanted for a while, and this Black Friday I saw it launch. I think it's pretty new. I looked online for reviews on this and I found none. So this is the Boundless Voyage titanium wood stove. The code is the Ti2003C. The previous one was the Ti2010C, also known as the Guren, G-U-R-E-N. So on Black Friday it was going for, I think, $68 shipped to me in Malaysia, and that's a crazy deal. So just let's look into it. So if you're thinking of getting this stove, it's a full flat stove. It's a single assembly, and what I mean by single assembly is there's no loose pieces. So if you look at the previous one, this is something I just have. It's a Rover Camel. These are called flat pack stoves, and basically you get a bunch of stoves like this, a bunch of pieces like this. And does not like to come out of the bag. Gets caught on loose strings, as this does, and then you basically have to build it up. So as an example, let's just build up a stove first. You need to memorize which goes where. So this is the back piece. Slot it in like that. Come on. As you can see, even though I've used this a decent bit, it still is a tiny bit finicky. And you grab your grill plate, you slot that into the slots, if that makes sense, and you grab your ash pan and slot that into your slots, and then the whole thing is held together by the last piece, which is the faceplate, and you get that done, and then you have your trivets just slot on top, and that's your stove. So it is a little bit wobbly, but it is stable enough. But the thing is, this is something like the Firebox Nano, I think, very similar in size, and in Malaysia, Asia, where wood is generally not bone dry or close enough as you can get over there, you need a thermal mask to keep things dry. So we'll just keep this aside, and this is what you get if you decide to buy this. It's made by Boundless Voyage and Dragon Horse. It's a collaboration. The Guren was the same thing, was a collaboration. So you get this stuff sack, which is quite decent, with a little bit of a reflective lining here, some Boundless Voyage branding, and the box is quite deceptive in the sense that it's much thicker than the actual product is. So just looking at the box, it just says Boundless Voyage titanium foldable wood stove, a whole bunch of stuff at the bottom, healthy and all that. I'll drop some detailed photos later. It says made of premium titanium, durable and nice appearance. Stove is jointly produced between two brands, Boundless Voyage and Dragon Horse, and designed by Alfred Cheng of Dragon Horse Inc. The stove is a foldable design. All parts of the stove can be folded or disassembled and put in storage bag. The stove thickness is 0.8 mm. This is the material thickness, with a thick texture and durability. So it's a standard kind of roughish titanium finish. For a one-piece furnace structure, deformation caused by repeated heating and cooling is an unavoidable problem. All titanium and even stainless steel stoves face this problem. But the wide structure of the furnace can maintain excellent stability even with slight deformation. The stove is also equipped with a grilling plate you can make into a mini grill for grilling steaks or other foods on one stove for multiple purposes. All right. And over here it's Boundless Voyage, Dragon Horse, same thing, titanium, flame retardant cloth. So it comes with basically what's a welder's that carbon felt that welders used for, not welders, pipe fitters use for soldering copper pipe. Black storage bag, it's made in China. So unfolded, it's 15 cm by 15 cm by 21.5 cm. If you're using the Firebox as a go-by, this is much bigger than the Firebox 5-inch Gen 2. Storage, it's a 21.5 by 15 by 2 cm. I measured, if you just do a one-to-one comparison, basically like a Firebox has the 2 fire sticks, a grill, not even a grill plate. So 2 fire sticks, the stove itself, and the ash pan, it's 1.3 cm. So it's a lot thinner. Stove weight is 690. This is the entire thing, but if we just go down to just the stove itself, with the basis I mentioned just now, it is only 550 grams, and the Firebox is 496 grams, 17.5 ounces. So this is about 2 ounces more only for a significantly bigger fire pit, if you want to call it a fire stove. And the other thing that's really cool about this is if two people have the stove, it can actually link up into a 3-section stove. They have an interconnect system, and it will have a grate at the bottom with ash pans all along the bottom, and it gives you a much bigger burn area, cook area, so you get 3 sections rather than just 1 cook section. I have a buddy that bought this as well, and if we go camping, when we go camping together, we'll give this a shot. So anyway, onto the stove. These are the bags that it comes in. Every single panel was wrapped in this nice soft plastic bag. So this was what the sticks, the trivets came in. Each trivet was in a single section, and it was folded up so they wouldn't rub against each other. It's above and beyond, I imagine. Not necessary, but that's what they gave you. So this is what you get when you get the stove. It's the bag. It's fairly thick, but it has a plastic lining on the inside, which does not give me too much confidence that it will last very long. Typically these things start to break up and the whole thing goes. We'll probably have to replace it very soon. These little things are the little ties that you would use on when you make the extension down there. I'll drop a detailed high-res photos of this at the end of the video for you all to have a look at. Anyway, we don't do that. This is that felt pad that they gave. It's fairly thick, nice and fuzzy, and it should prevent burns if you want to put this on a wooden table or something like that, a camp table. We'll talk about this later. This is a little DIY thing I'm working on. And so this is what you get. This is the grill that they provide. This is a solid, they call it a solid grill that they provide. Actually, this is useful as the ash pan when you go into the extended mode, and I think that's the only reason why they give it, but they try to sell it as a solid grill. I don't buy it, but anyway, it comes in there. This is a little other thing I'm working on as well. We'll look at that later. It comes with 4 trivets, and they give you 4 because once again you need this quantity when you put it into the extended mode. Otherwise I think they'll just give you 2, which is what the Guren came with if I'm not mistaken. And so this is what you get. It's only this thick. It's 1.3 cm, 13 mm. So it's really, really compact. And to assemble it, it's all one piece. Oh gosh. So you can see it's just one piece long and connected. So to assemble it, you basically, it comes like this. Open it up, you flip this around. The ash pan goes on the top, and you can see these tabs. They go into the slots here. Just slot it in, and then you just roll it up, and you roll this in. Tabs also go through here, and this is a bit of a finicky part. You actually have to pull this down. I find that if you locate the bottom one first, top, then you just lock it in, and you're done. This is 15 by 15, and it's 21 high. So then you'd be able to put your trivets on. Where is that? Over there. Over there, if you so choose, and use it. It's a heck of a stove, and I don't think you can say it's copied the Firebox or it's copied the Bushcraft Essentials. It's its own thing. It's very much like a Lixada, that small little folding stoves that they had in the past. So looking at all of this, I would not want to bring very much more than this. Maybe the grill, I'm not sure, I'm still thinking about it. I haven't really burnt it in yet because I wanted to do an unboxing first. And this is basically it, guys. Okay, so let's look at some specs while we're at it. I'm going to be talking in metric because that's me. And I'll have a full table with all the comparative imperial units right at the end as well for you guys. So the width of this is 15 by 15. Firebox 5-inch would be, well, 5 inches. It's not really square, but it averages out to 12.7 by 12.7. The Bushbox XL would be 12.5 by 12.5. And the previous Boundless Voyage, the Guren, or the 2010, was 12.6. So you could see the previous Boundless Voyage was pretty much copying the dimensions of the two major folding stoves in the market, the Firebox and the Bushbox. So the height of the Firebox is 19 centimeters. The Bushbox XL is exactly 19 centimeters also. The Boundless Voyage, the Guren, was 20.6, and this is 21.5. Folded dimensions for the Firebox is 0.95 cm, just under cm. The Bushbox XL, because of its accordion folding system, is 2 cm. The Guren, the previous Boundless Voyages, the main reason why I didn't buy it was because it has that big square base. I'll throw a photo up if I can find one. I'm sure I can. And that made it 3.1 cm. It's very, very thick when it is stowed. And this, in its form just now that we looked at, is only 1.3 cm. It's 13 mm. So it is the thinnest, no, sorry, the second thinnest of the lot next to the Firebox. But then again, you have to remember, this is a bigger stove. The burn chamber height. Now this to me is one of the key items. The burn chamber height gives you the effective volume when you factor the width and the depth of it. So the burn chamber height for the Firebox is 15 cm. The Bushbox XL is a little bit smaller, 14.3. The Boundless Voyage is 17.5, which is deeper, sorry. And this one in particular is 16.3. So it is slightly shorter than the Guren, but it has a lot more width in it. So this is what I'm leading up to. So the burn chamber volume, I'm doing it in liters. You can look at the imperial table. I have it in gallons as well. So the Firebox is 2.4 liters. The Bushbox XL is 2.2 liters. The Boundless Voyage Guren was 2.8, and this, because it's very wide, is 3.7 liters. So yeah, it's about 51% bigger. So I'm using the Firebox 5-inch as the baseline, and the Firebox is, of course, it's considered 100% because that is the control unit. The Bushbox XL is a little bit smaller. It's 91% the size of the Firebox 5-inch. The Boundless Voyage Guren was 14% larger, and this is a whole 51% larger. And this and the Guren was made by 0.8 mm. Firebox and Bushbox XL, I don't think they published it. I couldn't find the details. So weight of the stove, this is what we're looking at. The Firebox is 496 grams, 17.5 ounces. I've kind of memorized that. The Bushbox XL is 576 grams, 575 grams, slightly heavier. I think it's because of the hinges and they use the bar and whatnot. The Boundless Voyage Guren was 590 grams. It is a little bit heavier than the Firebox by 100 grams. So it is 19% heavier, but yeah, it's 19% heavier, but it gives you 14% more volume. So weight to volume, there's not that much benefit in the Guren, but this, the 2003 version, 2003C, this one is only 11% heavier than the Firebox, but it gives you 51% more burn chamber volume. And price-wise, the Firebox is $150, the Bushbox XL is $179. This was basically $100 at full price, and it was $68 on Black Friday. The Firebox was $65 on Black Friday, so good as well. So I think the way we can look at a stove like this is the burn chamber weight to volume ratio. So I did that in grams to liters, and for Imperial I did it ounce to gallons. So the Firebox 5-inch, you would be at 203 grams per liter of burn chamber volume. The Bushbox XL would be 258 grams per liter of burn chamber volume. The Guren is 212, and this is only 143 grams per liter of burn chamber volume. So weight to volume ratio is really, really efficient. And the construction is fairly solid, I think. We'll see how it deforms over time. So yeah, so what were the other things that I had around? So this, just a couple of shepherd hooks that I'm looking at using in conjunction with that little titanium plate that I had. And I'm planning to cut a hole out and bend this over to make some sort of like a boil plate for my Trek 900. This is something that you might have seen on my channel many times. This is my, I think it was the first proper piece of gear that I bought maybe 15 years ago. I don't know, it's ages ago. Snow Peak Trek 900. And I plan to, well, this will actually go in front here, and this will be there, and the burn plate will be around it, and I can cook on it, something like that, maybe a bit more efficient. I got a plate for fun. We'll try it out. So using the trivets, not too bad. You can put it in the middle, you can put all four on. And one more here. This would be a Tox 500. I really wish my camera was a bit further away, but it's difficult for me. This is what a Tox 500 would look like on it. Very small indeed. What else do I have? I have my 7.5-inch Boundless Voyage skillet. Fits really nice, almost fully covers it. This is what it would look like with a skillet on it. Nice, fits really well. And if you guys have a kettle, it's a GSI kettle, also would be really, really good on the stove. And this is what it would be looking like with the GSI kettle on it. I think it'd be really good. So, what do I think about this stove? First things first, I'm very happy I stumbled across it on Black Friday when it was on discount, heavy discount. And looking at it spec-wise against the Firebox and all that, I think it's a pretty good buy. The only thing is this joint is a little bit fiddly, but it's only one. To break it up, I just pop it up like this. You take this out, flip it up and over, and then you just zigzag the whole thing together. Boom, you're done. So, is this a copy? I don't think so. Last time we used to say that, well, it's up to you whether you want to buy something like the previous Guren, which was pretty much a partial replica of the Bushcraft Essentials. But this in itself, I think it's very much its own thing, and I can't wait to give it its first burn, see how it goes, and then start to try Swedish Fire Torch and cooking and all that with it. The thing about camping and doing bushcraft in tropical climates is that the wood generally is a little bit damp, and you can't use these little stoves that depend on dry wood being able to combust right off the bat, you know, when you pop it in. For us, generally, we have to get the wood in, it'll smoke a bit, and it has to vaporize all the volatiles and all the little bits of water and moisture that's in it before it actually starts to catch. So it needs a critical amount of heat and coals in there to sustain the fire, and something of this size I think would be really, really good. And the other thing is, if we build fire on the ground is generally quite damp, it sucks a lot of heat out. So being able to lift it off the ground and just maintain the heat would probably be a good thing. So my next hike out, hopefully while camping with Kyung and gang, I'll probably be taking this out with me. It's tough building fires in the tropics. So here I'm just going to throw up the tabulated data and specifications which was used in the discussion just now, and you can pause to have a look at it in further detail, as not everything was explicitly mentioned. After that, I am going to show you the individual weights of each of the components in the stove kit so that you can make up the total weight of various combinations if that's something you're interested in. After that, I'll be showing you close-ups of the packaging and the text on it so that you can pause if you want to look at it in further detail, as I think it was not very clear in the video just now. Lastly, I'll be showing you the manual that was included in the packaging. It's not a very clear copy, but it does describe how to put it together and also how to assemble the combination stove, at least the intention of it. I've not tried it personally, but it should provide some description. So anyway guys, this is just a first quick look at it. Camera angle was kind of crappy. I do apologize, my setup is quite limited, so it's difficult to get good angles like some of the other presenters and YouTubers can put out, but I hope you found this useful. Would I recommend this stove? Definitely, in a heartbeat. Currently, I think, especially for the tropics, this is a heck of a stove. It's built really well. I've had this Boundless Voyage skillet for years now. Their products are really, really good. I like it. This is by Rover Camel, I think. What's the brand of that? Gosh. Yeah, I think it's Rover Camel. I must have put the cover on the wrong way. Yeah, there we go, Rover Camel. But this is a very generic design. Fiddly as all heck, and I generally don't take it out very much anymore. I used it a bit for a while, but I soon realized it's just too small for our type of environment. So thanks for watching, guys. The next one hopefully will be the burn test, and then we'll see how that goes. As always, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have one of this, please let me know, because let me know your thoughts about it, because there's not much information on this thing out there. I guess they just launched it, I don't know exactly when, but would be good to know if there's any quirks that I have to be aware of. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.